Hello, guys. How are you guys doing tonight? Hello, Abhinav, Ronald. Hello, M. Hello, Mindset. Hello, AH. Hello, I Am Warrior. Please ask me your questions and I will tell you no lies. And if I have any female blind spots left that distort my perceptions, you can call me out. We can argue back and forth. We can get in a fight if you want. Hello, Gabby N64. Long time no see. So if you guys have any questions for me, simply accost me with them. Any questions about situations you've been dealing with in your life, women? Abhinav says, a girl is upset with me. What to do now? All right, Abhinav. Please give us more details. What is the exact scenario? What did you do to her? And what did you say to her? What did she say to you? Give us that, and then I can tell you the best response. No doubt. AH says, hey, Victoria, I sent you a pretty long email about a woman I met in FetLife. I will be interested to read that, AH. Do you want to summarize it here for us and we can discuss it in person on the live? So cool. Hello, Super Clips. I missed you. Cool says, hey, is it unattractive to be skinny / slightly underweight as a male? Been hitting the gym but don't feel comfortable pursuing women until I gain some mass. So it's all a matter of degrees, right? I mean, can you be attractive and be skinny, slightly underweight? Absolutely. Okay. Can you try to climb the objective societal attractiveness scale, the 1 to 10 rating scale? Sure. But should you put off dating until you're higher on the scale? I wouldn't, because you'll be missing out on very important practice time. Okay. You'll be losing social skills. You'll be losing critical dating experience. And you never know, because you might be very attractive to some women the way you are. I mean, skinny / slightly underweight, it's not that bad. Lots of girls specifically their type is like a skinny guy, okay? So I think it would be more harmful to you to just stay out of the dating game for years or months until you gain mass than it would be to keep improving your skills. And be slightly skinny. It's really not a big deal. Hello, Liam. David says, we out here getting advice from wizards now. Yes, we out here, wizards and students of wizards. Exactly, David. Hello, Ty. Good to see you. How are you doing? Ty, do you live in Ireland, or is your name just Irish? I forgot. Gabby N64 says, a woman at a rock climbing gym caught my eye. I've seen her a few times. How should I approach? I'm thinking of just mentioning something about a climb and taking it from there. Well, that sounds great. That sounds like a great thing to do. Break the ice, start a conversation. I like it. It's not bad at all. There's nothing I'm seeing wrong with mentioning something about a climb at a rock climbing gym and starting a conversation that way. It's perfect. Do it, Gabby N64. That's my homework to you. Make this attempt, and then next time, if it goes horribly wrong, well, first of all, it probably won't, because this is a normal way of starting a conversation with someone at a rock climbing gym. But if it does, you'll have that information forever seared in your mind for the future. You'll never make the same mistake again. But it's not going to go horribly wrong, or at least the fact that you opened your conversation that way is not going to be the thing that makes it go horribly wrong. Rather. So AH says, I'd be happy to talk about it eventually, but the questions I have feel a little too raw and personal for the live right now. All right, AH. No problem. No problem. Constant Motivation says, how should a man's Instagram look like? I mean, that's a tough one for me. I'm going to ask you guys because, I'm in a relationship. When I was dating, Instagram wasn't such a huge thing. I mean, I know a lot of girls don't like a guy to have a social media presence at all. So there's always that. Okay. But, what's the best way? I mean, if you could post a lot of if you're like a male model, I mean, of course that's good too. But it's kind of hard to describe the perfect Instagram. I mean, I think the perfect Instagram, I agree with a lot of women who say I don't know. I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass on that one. It's a good question though. I'll let someone else answer that. Michael says, nice to see censorship in this chat. What is that supposed to mean, Michael? I haven't censored anyone, so where do you come off saying that? Explain yourself. William Montague says, sorcery. Indeed. Cool says, there's one girl at my college. One time she called my hoodie. We got a super chat from Steven. Is it rude to finish what I'm reading, or should I just go straight to Steven's super chat? I don't know what the etiquette is. Let me come back to you, cool, after this one. Stephen Gosney, thank you so much, Stephen, for your super chat. He says, thank you, my non-leather life, for your excellent videos. They helped me write my new novel, Death Penalty Desires, Passion, Lust, and Murder, Alpha Male in Love is a primary theme. Oh my Lord. What a title. Tell us more, Stephen, what is your book about? Death Penalty Desires, Passion, Lust, and Murder. Oh, wow. Tell us a little bit more about that, Stephen. Is this a romance novel? Is this a thriller? Is this a mystery? Wow. And thank you so much, Stephen. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad my videos helped you with your very exciting novel, it sounds like. So, wow. Thanks again, Stephen. Cool says, there's this one girl at my college. One time she called my hoodie cute. Another time pretended to be interested in one of my cat photos. Is she sending signals screaming to make a move? Cool. You have just been awarded the green light fallacy penalty. All right. You have been awarded one penalty in my chat for falling into the most common male blind spot. And if anyone has been to my live, you know my answer. Cool. But for those who haven't, I'll reiterate it. Cool. This last line is the epitome of everything that's wrong with the male gaze from the female gaze perspective. Is she sending signals screaming to make a move? And she called her hoodie cute. And she was interested in a cat photo. My man, please Please just throw the whole question out, okay? And ask yourself this instead. Do you like this girl yourself? Are you interested in this girl? If so, use the fact that she called your hoodie cute and the time she likes cats to talk about cats, get her number, say you have to send her some cat meme, and then ask her on a date, okay? Over text. Please do not worry whether a girl liking a photo of a cat means she wants to jump on your dick. Please, please, please. You need to think like a man, all right? Act like a man, think like a man. And when you're interested in someone, go after what you want. Simple as that, okay? Don't be that guy who's compiling a list for multiple years of every single signal that's as banal as she liked a cat photo for years, okay? And then sending me an email with about 100 signals that showed she might be into you and you still haven't asked her out. Do you realize how, I hate to be rude, how pathetic it is? Please be someone who just goes after what you want. Don't worry about it. I mean, she seems to be friendly with you. That's it. Cool. Does that make sense? This is like the most, and I hate saying this, it's a very weak attitude. Okay. Very weak. And also just this whole idea of like, she's sending signals screaming to make a move. It kind of implies like the girl has like already decided you're my future husband. So I will pretend to like your cat photo. I mean, it's unlikely she's screaming, please ask me out because I already know I want to have sex with you. So please just start a nice normal conversation, get her number, and ask her out. So Tyke Smith says, I'm not too bad, thanks. Yeah, I live in a smallish town in the Midlands in Ireland. Very cool, Tyke. Tola says, I'm talking right now with a girl that is a 10, but she says she is an escort. Her whole game so far is shut up, you skinny guy. She replies a lot, do you think it's brattiness until I prove worthy? So she's an escort, but she likes you kind of like not as a client, but as a date? Or are you a client and you're trying to like, or she's trying to make you a client and I'm confused. How did you meet her, Tallis? And is she like dating on the side? Let me know. Shut up, you skinny guy. I don't know. It doesn't seem good, but that could just be her sense of humor. I mean, some people, like, I don't know if you guys are watching Love is Blind. They have a very abrasive, like, flirtation style. It's very rude. There's a lot of, like, making fun of each other. Guess you have to deal with it if you date a girl like that, but I don't like it. Tell us more, Tallers. Abhinav says, hello, Victoria. I literally have no idea what happened wrong. One thing came into my mind is that once her friend starts getting very happy with me, she got upset. How to handle the situation. Abhinav, again, let me know what the situation is, because you're just telling me a girl's upset with me. How do I handle it? Let us know what she's upset about. Let us know what you did to upset her. And then we can get somewhere with that, okay? So, Michael says, lol, if in the military, the sergeants told new privates, oh, just grab a gun and run at the enemy, it'll probably be okay. So is that like asking a girl out, Michael? Gabby64 says, thanks for the advice, I'll do it. Very good, Gabby64. Positive Real Estate says, ask the girl if she wants to climb a mountain and then hang out. It's better than nothing, Positive Real Estate. Flower says, how do I make women hate me? There's a lot of ways you could do that, Flower. But what do you think is the most likely way? Because I could list about 300 ways possibly you make women hate you. So if you had to guess, what would you guess? So Michael says that is supposed to mean that some of my messages are not shown in the top chat, but are showing in the live chat, which means that even though you might not be doing the censoring, it's there. Oh, well, that's interesting. Let me change to live chat. Maybe that was my problem all along. Let's go to live chat. I don't understand how YouTube decides what is worthy of top chat and what's worthy of live chat, but now I'm switched to live chat. This is what I should have been doing all along. So thank you for that, Michael. So Liam O'Donovan says, thankfully, I never bothered dating. How is that a good thing, Liam? I ask you that. How is that a good thing? John Travers says, what makes a mutual gaze between a man and woman for 4 to 5 seconds creepy versus sign of interest? That's an interesting question, John. Is she looking back at you? And is the look with which she's looking back at you kind of like annoyed? Because that could happen. And then that's a good sign, like, oh, she doesn't like it. I mean, you kind of have to read the body language to realize, wow, is there like heat and chemistry transpiring between us? Or am I just staring at her and she's like giving me a weird look and looking away? Or are you just saying like, is it okay to lock eyes with someone for 5 seconds? I would try it for 1 second and see how she's looking back. And if she likes it, yeah, there's no harm in locking your eyes for 5 seconds. But did I understand that correctly, John? Because I mean, I think it's going to be pretty obvious. Like if the woman doesn't like that you're staring at her, she'll go like, what? Or, ew, no, or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think it will be pretty obvious. Whereas if she's like locking eyes with you in like a sexy way, I think she is into it. So, or if she's looking at you and smiling while locking eyes with you, that's different, you know? So Superclip says, hi, I like a girl. I used to be obsessed with her. I still feel the attraction somewhat and feel the same vibes from her, although she gives me mixed signals of unsending messages and such. Oh, I think unsending messages, that's more a sign that somebody's shy. And probably they kind of like you rather than don't like you because it's almost like, oh, that wasn't good enough. I shouldn't have said that. So I'm not really sure what your question is, but okay. So then you said later, I'm not so financially stable yet. Should I make a move on her or what do I do? Yes. If you like her, make a move on her. You don't need to be financially stable to make a move. Okay. Don't let Shira 7 and her proteges trick you. Okay. You do not have to be financially stable to make a move. Definitely not. Michael says his novel is probably about Scott Peterson, who was getting all those love letters, being on death row for killing his wife. Oh my God. It's terrible. So, Steve Gosney, thank you so much. He says, could not get the super chat to work with the message. See chat above. All right, Steve, I'll look for it. I'm looking for it, Steve. I'm not seeing it, Steve. I apologize. I'm in the live chat, but I don't see it, Steve. What the hell? Can you copy and paste it down below? All right. If anyone sees Steve's message, let me know because I can't see it. I apologize for that, Steven. Excuse me. All right. Samuel77 says, what confuses me is you say women are intimidated by men / view them as potential predators, but also men have to be assertive, dominant, and pursue, or they're weak / unattractive. How do you balance it? Well, like I always say, a good way to be assertive, dominant, and pursue in the appropriate timing is to simply do the basics of dating right. So the way you can be assertive, dominant, and pursue in the beginning of dating is you can, instead of being a slave to the green light fallacy, you can ask the girl out because you go after what you want. Okay, that's a way of being assertive, dominant, and pursuing. You can lead the conversation. Like, for example, not waiting for her to do 50-50 in the conversation and thinking, oh, she didn't ask me a question. I can't possibly double text. I can't possibly triple text. She's not acting like super into me, so I can't possibly say like, I'm interested in going on a date with her, give her a compliment. That's being assertive, dominant, and pursuing in the appropriate way for the appropriate stage you're at. You can ask her on a date. You can make the plan. That's being assertive, dominant, and pursuing. However, it is not being a potential predator. So, do you see what I'm saying? Where by following the basic dating skills etiquette, you will be by default assertive, dominant, and pursuing without being a potential predator. So, yeah. However, now if you think of it kind of like on a runway like scale, the more sexual things become, the more you can possibly ramp up. Beardo, do you want to comment on this? This would be a great one for you to comment on. Beardo wants to comment. Dude, why don't you just comment on this?
Okay, I'll come there in a second.
Okay, he's coming. But the more sexual things become, the more you can tap deeper into this persona as not just assertive, dominant, and pursuing in a gentlemanly way, like a guy who has dated before, has experience with women, knows how to be a gentleman on the date, and is a man, not a boy. But you can really start tapping into more of a persona that unlocks the dark side within you. Okay? That's when you can really ramp it up. Okay? When you guys have chemistry together, you guys have rapport, you guys have trust, she might want you to turn up the assertive, dominant pursuer to 9, 10, 11. However, in the beginning, when she doesn't know you, she doesn't know if you're safe, she wants you to still be on that same assertive, dominant pursuer scale, but maybe turn it up to a 2, 3, 4 by doing those basics dating skills. David, do you have anything to add to that?
Look, you have it covered.
He said I have it covered, but so Tala says, why women tell you what not to do for what they want you to do? I'm not exactly sure what this means. Could you elaborate? Why do women tell you what not to do for what they want you to do? I think what you maybe mean is, why are they more comfortable saying what not to do, but they're kind of scared to say what they want you to do? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a good question, Tullis. Yeah, it's like, why can't they just say what they want? Why is it so difficult? Right? Why isn't every single woman on the street some kind of like long-term, as knowledgeable as like a long-term pickup artist? They could just simply say straight out, here's what you do, boys. Well, I think as women, we have a lot of blind spots. There's a lot of subconscious drives we have. And sometimes we're not even aware ourselves until we become conscious of it. We really look into it. He's here, guys. It's Beard. It's the Beard Man. The Beard Man's here.
Only 20 likes? Victoria's handing you the secrets of the universe here. Only managed 20 likes?
I don't know about all that, David, but dude, answer Tully's question. Why is it so hard for women to just simply straight out say what they want? What's your answer to that?
To be honest, it's kind of a good question.
It's a good question.
Right?
Yeah, I said it's a good question. Yeah.
Men are a lot more direct about like what they want.
Yeah, but what they want is simple. 2 circles and a triangle, and you'd act smiling all the time. It's very basic.
I think the answer, it's almost like a little paradoxical, but like what they want is to not have to tell you what they want, right?
Yeah. What they want is for there to be the existence of a natural born leader, an alpha who knows through his intelligence, through his experience that he's gained just by being naturally that way. And they want to mate with that guy. They don't want to mate with a guy who they had to say, well, I know you were born beta, but once you read the cheat sheet, you just simply posed as an alpha. Then I mated with you, and great, now my children will be betas. I mean, that's the harsh truth, right, dude?
Yeah. I mean, how about the expression like if he wanted to, he would, right? So then if he doesn't, and then you say like, oh, can you do this? It's like, okay, well, now I'll do it now that you told me. Well, if you wanted to, you would have already.
Yeah, because that implies the existence that implies that every man, if he simply wanted to, has the potential to be the alpha of their dreams.
Yeah.
When the truth is, there's probably not a man on planet Earth who's born that way. They all learned.
Yeah.
But women don't know that. What are you doing, dude?
All right. Well, I was trying to fix this.
Okay. Well, it's really not necessary. So, okay, that's actually worse. So, okay. Thanks, Smart Water. She's saying it's a great stream. Thank you. Thank you so much for the appreciation.
All right. Now, is that better or worse?
I don't really know because it's about the same.
Well, it's better now.
Okay. So Michael says, well, that's how. If she is attracted to you, then you are assertive and dominant. And if she isn't, then you are creepy and pushy. Very simple. I don't think it's that simple.
Not really a winning attitude, my man.
So, I mean, there's probably some truth to it, but Flower says only ugly guys are creepy. There's a huge halo effect. I'll give you that, guys. The halo effect is real, that's for sure. How much effect does it have? That's a good question, though. Brian says, hi, Victoria. At 47 years old, I've been through a few long-term relationships. At this point, I find myself doubtful there is any healthy, sane women out there.
Well, I'm 48 years old, and I can say there's at least one.
Okay, Brian, I'm going to have to push back, okay? It seems like you've been in some bad relationships. However, I'm narrowing in on 2 words. With laser focus, I'm focusing in on the word sane, okay? That implies you think all women are insane, right? You're doubtful that any woman is sane. So that means you believe that most women are insane, right? That's a very, very bad attitude. Because instead of actually trying to understand why women are behaving with you the way they are, you're just throwing your hands up and calling them insane. You're not looking at what you're doing or trying to understand where they're coming from. So that's very, very bad. You'll never understand women that way if you just, they're literally insane. There's no rhyme or reason. Just lock them up in a mental asylum. And that's what many men did for many years. They locked women away in mental asylums because they couldn't
'Cause
handle.
They were hysterical.
They couldn't handle that the women had a point. Okay? There's a grain of truth in what they're saying. And they're just going, la, 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 la. No, you're insane. You're insane. You belong in a mental asylum. Very shameful history. Steve Gosney, thank you so much for your super chat. And he says, impossible to super chat. I'm a law streamer. Would like to interview you, but can't post on this because it keeps censoring my website. Oh God, Steve. Steven, sorry. Please email me, my nonleatherlife@gmail.com. Gmail.com. What kind of law streamer are you? Like, what kind of lawyer are you? Or do you just comment on the law? Let me know. But you can always email me, my nonleatherlife@gmail.com. So, thanks again, Steven. And I apologize. I can't find your chats in here. I guess it's censoring you, like you said. All right, let's get Beardo a question before he gets bored and leaves.
I saw a question for you.
What is
What's
it?
the best time to kiss on a date?
That's a question for me?
Yeah. These are all questions for you.
No, dude, this is for you too. So, dude, what question do you want to take?
Well, what about that kiss question?
All right, what's your opinion, dude?
Curious about that myself.
Okay.
Tell me. Oh, guru.
Well, in my opinion, the best time to kiss on a date is when the chemistry starts going on the date. And yeah, I agree. It's no, don't, please. It's better to kiss in the bar or the restaurant. Hopefully, or it's like, let's say this is what would happen, like on my dates a lot. You meet up at one bar, and then they're like, "Do you want to go to this other bar?" And you're like, "Okay, sure." The next bar you go to is a more romantic place, darkly lit. Okay, then you can sit next to each other in a corner, and then you're talking, you're laughing. The makeout happens right then and there in the bar. That's a great time to kiss. Okay, because it means that like the chemistry was so hot, the conversation was so good, you're liking each other so much that just boom, it combusted and you kiss. As opposed to, well, our conversation was kind of bland and boring, and I'm not sure we really connected, but hey, it's a last-ditch effort, so I'll go in for that kiss at the very end. What do you think, too?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I was in Chicago for, well, that doesn't really matter, but the what are you laughing about?
Aubrey! Cryptic Rod. You should stream with me. Call me Aubrey. Aubrey! What the hell, man? Okay, Cryptic, thank you so much for a super chat.
I don't understand what he wants.
How do we do this? Explain it to us, so Gen Zer. You should stream with me. Call me Aubrey. How do we do it? Aubrey, explain it to us, please.
Okay, so at a first date, it was somebody off of Plenty of Fish or something. It wasn't Plenty of Fish. Okay, Cupid. And I didn't know anything about this woman, really. So I just planned to go to a restaurant, and then I feel like I had 3 steps. Oh, I think we went to some kind of like show or something, right? Some kind of comedy show before, after the restaurant, whatever. And then the third step was like a wine bar. And this woman was kind of young, like 25. And she was kind of like mocking the wine bar the whole time. And yet, like, we had a nice like couch to sit on, and like, you know, sparks flew. You know, like the lighting, the music, the ambiance, all that kind of stuff was much more conducive to physical intimacy. Adding, onto what you were saying, Tor.
Absolutely. I was just happy that my favorite person in the world, Cryptic, besides Beardo, of course, is on the live. All right. Oh, Cryptic, do you have any dating questions for us that we can answer? So Michael says, okay, I have a question for the bearded man. How, being almost 50, do you hit on much younger women without feeling like a creep? He doesn't.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I was like 40 going out with 25-year-olds and things like that. That was before I met Victoria. Or at least before we started dating. Everything is so context dependent, context driven, right? I mean, like, if I wait outside a high school and hey baby, hey girly, as they're leaving the high school, that's gonna be creepy, right? But if you take a younger woman on an adult date because you are 40, 50, whatever, there's plenty of women in the market for that. So why are you laughing?
I'm laughing at Cryptic in the chat wreaking havoc.
So some women are going to find you creepy, and that's okay. Move on to the next one. Find the ones that don't find you creepy. Put yourself in the right situations to not be creepy.
Thank you so much, Stephen Gosney, yet again for your amazing super chats. He says, email sent. Thank you for inspiration. By the way, your man is cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen. Many thanks. Many thanks.
Banter ABC, I flirt with everyone, even 90-year-olds.
That's very up his alley. He loves to flirt with 90-year-olds. Oh, sorry. My bad. Andrew Tate wouldn't like that. So,
what are your views on men going down on a woman? Does it make him less masculine? Hell no! This is like the skeleton key. I've had very good success using cunnilingus to bridge the gap from make out to the real deal. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for sharing that. Super Dog Lover says, Super Dog Lover 567 to Victoria, what did you think when Beardo started hitting on you?
She thought, oh, I got a real live man here.
He didn't start hitting on me because I kind of hit it up. I hit on him.
That is such a lie. Don't lie. Don't lie to your poor audience.
Dude, how is that a lie? Where's the lie? I
was hitting on you. I was trying to get close. I was telling you to sit on my lap. You were giving me the talk to the hand. And then it changed.
Okay. Cryptic and Jigsaw are in a great conversation here. Book recommendations. Okay, got it.
She was very frosty to me when I was hitting on her. Well, first of all, it wasn't like hitting on because we had arranged a date, right? So we were on a date, but I was trying to advance the physical intimacy. Okay, and she was not with it for a while, a few hours. And then I just kind of persisted, and it changed.
All right, music, you got it. You're right. It's just
So you go out.
I can't help it because
You go from making out to cunnilingus when you move from bar
You
number
got
2
a
to bar
special-
number 3.
you got a special connection.
No, I'd say that that's when you move from bar number 2 to your place or her place.
Okay. All right. Let's get a real question here.
We're getting real questions. I'm
Okay.
giving real answers, and you're
Oh.
ignoring them.
Sorry, dude. My bad. My bad. So,
Can you stop caring about cryptic?
I can't, but I'll try. All right. Antonio Rojas Rodriguez says, can you talk about the common type of message that girls communicate through their eyes as it relates to dating and sex so that we men can start picking them up? All right, Antonio. I've mentioned this one before in the chat, but this is the classic. Okay, and I still see I was watching Love is Blind and I saw, I believe, on Love is Blind, them giving the same old tip. All right. So women are told that men are so daft and so dim-witted that they cannot pick up if you're sending them a subtle hint. So oftentimes, this is like a really common piece of advice in dating books. They're like, what you're going to do is call it the 10-second smile, which is you just lock eye contact with the guys and just smile and then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the girl's like, you've got to be kidding me. I'll look like a crazy stalker. And they're like, nope, that's the only way guys can tell. So for sure, if you see a girl staring at you with a locked smile on her face, that's one signal they're sending. Okay. Here's another classic. The old, you look the guy in the eye, then you look down, and then you look back up into their eyes. Okay. That's another classic. And it shows I am soft, submissive, and shy and innocent. Therefore, you will like me. Okay. So that's another classic signal that girls are definitely intentionally sending to guys. Okay. So what are some other ones? The whole doe eyes and siren eyes thing. You could look that up on TikTok and see some examples of that. I mean, that would be a good one, okay? If they're literally doing like anime eyes on you, that's an obvious one that they're literally trying to send you a signal like, I'm hot, I'm cute, I'm sexy, I'm innocent, like me, please. David, do you have any to add to that?
I don't want to say who cares, but I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I don't wait around for anybody to give me the 10-second stare. Or at least, I didn't used to. I still don't, I guess. But
Very good.
it's just like, if I see somebody and I want her, I'm going to approach her, and I'm not gonna need any like subtle signals because it's gonna be obvious. I'm gonna make her choose a side. But I mean, like there's some positive things to like seeing when a woman is coming on to you, but that's just not how I approach it.
Nice, dude.
Or approached it.
Dude, Lady Luck has a question, all right? Hello, Lady Luck, first of all. And she said, hi, Victoria. Or, excuse me, hey, Victoria. I approached a guy and I was so nervous I was shaking. Haha, got his number. How do you think he might have received that?
He's going to be bragging about it for the rest of his life.
Okay, that's for sure, Lady Luck. Like, you have no idea how many guys use my channel as kind of like the graveyard for bragging about every single time a girl did far less than that to them. So, yes. But, dude, I want to get your opinion and also every other guy in the chat's opinion because, Lady Luck, I understand that you can see in this question that from a woman's perspective, this is why we don't ask guys out because what common dating advice for women tells us is that if you ask a guy out, he's not going to take it well. He's going to think you're low value. He's not going to think you're girlfriend material. He's going to think you're desperate. And so this is why girls don't make moves. So I want to hear from you guys. How do guys actually receive it? And do you agree with me, Lady Luck, that this is kind of the perception that women have that if they are the aggressor, they are the masculine one. Therefore, men will not find them attractive because they're no longer feminine. So please correct me, Lady Luck, and every other woman out there. What do you guys think? And do you have any more comments on that? Like, do you think that?
Well, I'm not every man, so like,
Okay.
maybe it is interesting to see what these guys will say.
And while we're waiting for that, like,
And let's try to be honest, fellows. We don't need to posture right now. It's not going to give you any benefits to try to act.
help Lady Luck out. Be a hero to Lady Luck. So,
Have you seen Kawhi in the chat complaining about
what?
being 26 and only having had like one experience?
No, I haven't seen it.
He's pasted the same thing a couple times.
Oh, what does he say? But dude,
It was right there.
Sorry, but one quick question about that, dude. Okay, one quick question about what Lady Luck said. Would a guy ever find it like unladylike, unappealing, unattractive if a girl asked him out, like, oh, she just wants to hook up, she's for the streets or something like that? Would that ever go through his head or not?
I don't know.
What?
You're asking a guy. If a
Okay.
guy.
What about you personally?
Me personally, like. It's really hard for me to say, okay? Here's the thing. Like, if I'm unavailable, then a woman hitting on me is a compliment. It's flattering, but I'm going to shut it down, okay? And did I say if I'm available? If I'm not available,
Okay.
then it's a compliment, but I just kind of like shut it down, right?
Okay.
And it's a rare woman who's just gonna like run right through that red light, blow through that red light. If I am available, we're not gonna get there because like I'm the one with my foot on the gas, like she's not gonna like be more forward than me. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just like not the kind of guy that women like hit on or something. I don't know.
Okay. Great advice, dude.
You didn't even hear what I said. That's okay.
But I'm gonna rewatch it and I'm gonna listen to everything you said. So
I know when you're not
Antonio
listening.
says, Victoria, are you and Beardo fighting because he seems off?
I seem off? I thought I was kicking ass.
I think because like maybe you seem like annoyed at me. I don't know.
No, I'm not annoyed at all. And we're not fighting.
We're not. This is just how he acts. So.
I'm almost off camera. Like maybe he thinks we're fighting because you won't turn the camera to me and I have to like lean like 45 degrees to get in the picture.
Like that? Is that what you want?
Oh.
Okay. Should we just like share? Okay. Casey Williams says, David does seem off. This is my first time on the stream. He seems like such a red flag and constantly undermining everything you say.
Am I? I feel like I agreed with the things that you said.
Oh, gosh. Well, if you see any more red flag behavior, point it out to me, Casey Williams. Casey Williams says, you asked for input, and he's like, well, actually... Oh, God. Well, Casey Williams, I appreciate you calling him out like that. David, what do you have to say for yourself?
I regret nothing.
So...
I'm just kidding. I regret things all the time.
All right. So what question are we going to take next, you guys? And Lady Luck, did you get any good responses to your question? Let us know. Lady Luck said, I felt like I was the one keeping the conversation going. It was boring. I flirtatiously said, not much of a texter, huh? And he ghosted, lol. Oh, that's rough, Lady Luck. Your thoughts, David?
Okay. This is a bit of a stretch.
Okay.
But nevertheless, when I lived in Chicago, at first I would give panhandlers money. Okay. I just felt like, hey, this, dollar change, whatever it was. I didn't have a lot of money either, right? But this money that I give to this person might really change their lives. Might be a good thing. I felt good about it. Time goes on, and I'm like, it's not right to.
I'm not laughing at you. Sorry.
I know you're not listening.
Yeah, I am, actually.
It's not right to give these homeless people, or whatever the term is now, money. So I would often take them for food, or I would give them food that I had prepared for myself, like my own lunch. I was like, oh, you got any money or any food? Well, I got this. And a few times I saw the person take my food, and then I watched them when they thought I wasn't watching anymore, just throw it in the garbage. And it's just why should I give this to you if you don't even want it? I think is what we're getting at here with the women. Why should I let you have sex with me if I'm a woman? If you don't even want it, if you don't even want to earn it, if you don't want to do the things that I want you to do, I'm just wasting it. I'm giving it away. It's it's gone. And you haven't even made me feel the way that I want to be made to feel.
Great analogy. So
it's if this homeless person, I keep wanting to say bum.
Unhoused.
I don't
person.
mean any
person currently experiencing homelessness.
I honestly don't even understand why a homeless person is
currently
than
experiencing
bum.
housing insecurity.
If this bum actually wants my food, I am happy to give it to him. If he's actually hungry, if he actually needs it, if he will take my food and be grateful for it, more grateful than I would be to eat my own frickin' lunch, right? That I packed for myself. Here, go ahead. I am happy to make a positive impact on what must be a very difficult life. But if you're just going to throw it in the garbage afterwards because you don't really want it, then, fuck off. I'm not going to give you any money. I'm not going to give you any food. I don't want to even look at you because you're trying to trick me into giving something of value to me, to you who will not value it.
So you're saying that's like women who feel like a guy has to pursue them in order to be worth having sex with?
Yes.
Okay. And does that have anything to do with the reverse, which is a girl asking a guy out? Or is that in response to a different question?
It is. I think that's a reasonable.
Cryptic says, we got the analogy the first time, speed up the pace.
Well, she didn't get it. She's asking a question because she didn't get it.
Okay. No, dude, but the thing I didn't understand was because Lady Luck was talking about how, she was trying to text this guy and he acted bored and uninterested. So I'm just saying, how is it applying to that situation? I get how it applies to women want to have sex with the guy who actually cares.
Yes.
I get that, but I'm saying,
So if she's gonna do the work, if she's gonna text him, if she's gonna say like, "Oh, here's me on a platter,"
yeah,
some guy who doesn't even want it that much is just gonna take it
yeah,
and throw it in the garbage afterwards.
Yep. Bingo. So what's your thoughts on that? Like, should women just not do it because of that?
Well, you are running a bit of a risk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm single and some woman comes up to me and she's not even that attractive to me, but she's not a prostitute and she, really wants to have sex. Okay. Right. But so the woman is running the risk of like being with a guy who doesn't even think that much of her.
Yeah. That's the risk. Yeah. So do you think that women should not ask guys out, or do you think they should? Or should they just be willing to take that risk?
It's subjective. Like, I think that as long as your eyes are open about it, that's fine.
Here's the other thing, though.
Okay.
A lot of guys who are too insecure, in my opinion, to ask a girl out.
Yep.
You got to understand this, Lady Luck. They have extremely ridiculous standards for beauty because they've been unlucky for so long and they've been so desperate for so long that they need someone who looks a certain way to validate them. So watch out for that. Do you know what I mean, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen a lot of guys writing to me and they're like insanely critical of women. I'm like, bro, you haven't had sex for years. Please focus on having sex with someone, not just critiquing everyone who has any interest in you. But I don't know. What do you think, Dad?
About what?
What I said, but
Which part? About like you haven't had sex, guy?
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of. Not everyone's opinion needs to be given equal weight. How's that?
Yeah, for sure. And we'll just get our commenters here to answer one more question for Lady Luck. How do you get a guy to pursue you after you were the first to approach, or just avoid approaching first? Well, yeah, this is another key insight for you guys into female dating advice, which they tell women, if you make the first move, you set everything off topsy-turvy. You have basically broken the great chain of the universe. Everything's off balance from now on. You can never get that guy to pursue you. You started on the wrong foot. You started as a man. Now he thinks he's the woman and you're the man. You will never get pursued the way you want to. Is it true, guys? Anyway.
It's not with me.
David, thoughts on semen retention?
I don't know.
He wouldn't know. He tried for like 2 days. It didn't last. He couldn't make it.
I made it 3 days.
Did you feel any like power rushing through your veins?
No.
What did it feel like?
It felt very distracting to me. But if it works for you, go ahead.
Cryptic says we didn't need to know all that.
Here are those tips for bald guys. Find the girls who like bald guys.
And thank you, Rodney Rose. He says, I've been listening to your YouTube videos. They are informative and thought-provoking. Thanks for helping us guys better understand your gender. Thank you, Rodney. I really appreciate it, Rodney, so much. Veronique. A woman? Another woman? Veronique, reveal yourself. Not always. Sometimes it opens the door for him to know it's safe to be more forward. Absolutely, Veronique. Yep. Giving him the green light. Everything that guys want on this channel. So, goodbye.
Cryptic's had his fill of trolling.
Yep. All right. Thanks for trolling us tonight, Cryptic. We love you. Bye. Thanks for the laughs. Phew. Now we can really get down to business.
You know, like when I would go on a date, I would make sure to shave my head, right? And then if she like said anything about it, or if it like came up in any way, like I would just take her hand and I would like run it over my extremely smooth bald head.
Okay.
And some women really like it. So
That's a good move, dude. I like it.
White Sox, Emigara.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's interesting, dude? I remember being like in 3rd grade or whatever, and a kid would come in and he'd get a buzz cut, and everyone would be like, "Ooh, can I touch it? Can I touch it?" And then I remember wanting to touch it too, but being like too embarrassed to be like, "May I also please touch your head?"
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of recalls that.
If you're a bald guy and she's out on a date with you, what do you think that probably means? Also, like, I don't practice pickup, and it seems absurd to me. Okay, like Tor shows me some of these pickup videos sometimes, and I'm just like, what the hell is this?
It's funny, right?
Like, it just seems.
Hi, Nani.
I don't know. It's just not how I went about things. Now, I did pick up a few women along the way, but like that wasn't how I went about things. I just like, you know, meet women online, dating apps and whatever, and go from there. So I'm not. If pickup is working for you, go for it. It's just, I feel like it's overblown. I feel like it's takes up more space in like the online discourse than it really deserves. If you're good at it, I can see how it would be fun for the man and the woman. But if you're not good at it, I really don't think you have to devote years of your life trying to get good at it. It's not the only way to meet women. It's not even the primary way to meet women, in my view.
Like cold approach, you mean? Like talking to women on the street?
Yeah.
Cold?
Yeah, but like, you know, pickup is it's a whole art form, you know? It's not just like talking to a woman on the street. If I saw an attractive woman and there's an opportunity to talk to her, I would talk to her. I don't really think that that's pickup, though. It's not really like pickup art.
Yeah, but if I could interject something, I think
Mhm.
pickup is for guys who don't naturally have the confidence and the mindset to be able to just go up to a woman, talk to her, and have it go well. Like, certain guys, like, their mindset is so bad, they have so many blind spots that they need kind of like these hacks to get them to the point where they can just talk and have a normal conversation with the woman they meet. That's what I was noticing from the pickup videos I watched. What do you guys think about pickup? You might be better experts on it than me, having watched more videos.
If you're not good at like approaching a woman and talking to her, why would you then focus on like this way that you're already bad? It's
Well, you're gonna have to talk to her on the date.
it's like if you are a 300-pound baseball player and all off season you're working on stealing bases. It's just why? Like you're never going to be a great base stealer.
So, what do you think the methods they should specialize in are?
I mean, like I said, like I just did like online dating apps.
I know, but once you meet up online, you might need to use little confidence and social skills to do the messaging.
Okay.
Then when you get on the date, you're gonna have to hold a whole conversation with her. Your lack of self-esteem, your lack of confidence, your lack of social skills is gonna come up on the date as well.
Okay, but pickup isn't going to help you with that.
Can. I think so. Definitely can.
Pickup is like you're putting on this whole persona. Like he's just like he's trying to play a game. He's like trying to game this woman.
I feel like you can kind of just add a few of the techniques into your real personality.
I'm not saying that there's nothing to it. I'm not, like I said, like if it's working for you, go ahead. Practicing some things might help you, but I'm just saying, like, if approaching women cold is not your forte, that's okay. There are other ways.
Okay. Yeah. You don't have to do the cold approach and go up to women on the street and have someone film you and then post it online. So, see, this is the attitude that you don't want, though. John Travers, game is simp behavior. Tig says, pickup at least gets a guy to approach women. It's a damn sight more effective than waiting for them to approach him. Yeah,
I agree with that.
good point, Tig. Meganoia says, I have a mini notebook to write to women while the music blares at the nightclub. It's usually nonsense questions with a logical answer choices. It's always done well at school. My sister taught me. That's a good idea. I like that, Metanoia.
Yeah.
That's fun. It's creative.
I mean, here's another reason why, like, I don't like going out to like loud bars and nightclubs and all that kind of stuff, you know?
No.
I mean, I know that you don't have to do that for pickup or whatever, but like, what do they say? Like, why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is, right? Like, go to the places where women are looking to find guys, right? Now, if you're somebody who is good or comfortable or enjoys like dancing at a dance nightclub, you know, I think that that's a really good place. Like women are looking to have, not all of them, but a lot of women are there looking to have a romantic encounter. Like for me, like I think what worked best was dating apps. Like women are looking to have dates on these. Just like approaching a woman when she's not at all looking for an encounter is harder. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying it's impossible, right? I'm just saying like the odds are not in your favor. You know, like some woman sitting on the train, she's got her earbuds in. You like start talking to her. She's like, what? Like, it can work, but just the odds are not that good.
Mm-hmm. Great point, dude. I was looking for that guy Kawhi, but I can't find his question now in the chat. But remember, he was like, "I'm a virgin." I don't know if you're still here, Kawhi. Will you
There he is.
copy and paste your? Oh, here you are. I'm not sure if you're here, Kawhi, but I wanted to ask you this. He says, "I'm 26 and never had a relationship. Had sex only once. I constantly kick myself for missing out on so many great experiences. Should I feel that way? How to not feel that way?" What do you think, dude?
The guys get very upset when I say this, but
Uh-oh.
okay.
Anonymous.
Probably
Thank you so much. We'll get to you in 1 second.
standards are too high. Okay. Now, guys will say, "Oh, I should date a 6 when I'm a 9. I can get all the 8s I want." No. Okay. If you're a 9 and you can get all the 8s you want, you're not probably 26 with only having had sex once and only had 0 relationships. I'm saying for a guy who's 26 and he is lamenting how few experiences he's had, his standards are probably higher than they deserve to be. Okay. So, and I understand this because I struggled with this myself. I don't know if it really is worth getting into my whole story, but for a long time, I denied myself experiences because I was worried, like, oh, if I go out with this woman and she's not a 10, then what does that say about me? It means that I'm admitting that I can't get a 10, and I can't admit that, and I can't let anybody else see that. So I'm going to hold out for a 10. And I eventually got someone who was very in demand, and I didn't have the experience that I should have had, maybe, to like understand what kind of person is right for me and what kind of person I am right for.
Was that your ex?
Yeah. Okay.
She was in demand.
Yeah. So I was in a relationship for quite a while because she seemed like somebody who most people would think, is a 10 or a 9 or whatever. Okay. I got out of that relationship after a decade plus, and I had the same attitudes, and I had to really ask myself, why is it that you're so afraid to date somebody who's not a 10 or whatever? And I just can realize I'm concerned about what it says about me. I'm concerned about what other people will think of me. And I just was like, this is stupid. Let's let go of that. Okay. And then I had a relationship and plenty of interactions with women who were not going to be my person. Okay. But I got to know people, and I learned a lot, and I learned a lot about dating and sex and women. I mean, I also learned a lot about dating, sex, and women in my decade plus relationship. The point is you get this experience, right? And then when I met the person that I really wanted to be with, I had a lot of experience and confidence, and I knew what to do. Okay. And it was still kind of touch and go at times, right? So if I didn't have all that experience, I don't think that I'd be with Victoria right now.
What do you think you would have done that
I
would
would
have
have
made me?
I would have blown it.
No.
I would have flubbed it.
How would you have done that?
There's a number of ways I could have done it. I could have been too scared to be forward. I could have been too forward. I could have been not very good in bed. I could have not been able to hold your interest or attention. I don't know. There's a lot of things that could have gone wrong. So yeah, I mean, just all I'd say is like just ask yourself, like, why am I turning down the opportunities that I do have? If you're someone who is in a position where you're like, hey, I don't have that many opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
If you're somebody who has plenty of opportunities and you're just, fighting them off with a stick, this advice does not apply to you.
Mm-hmm. Fucking great advice, David, because I see far too many people who haven't had sex for decades.
I'm with a 10 now. Yes. Like, that's what I'm saying. But like, if I hadn't learned along the way, gotten to know some people who weren't 10s for me, I think there's a very strong chance I wouldn't be with Victoria now.
And I think you're making a good point as well, that you thought you had a 10 before, but you turned out to be evil. Okay. So a girl could look like a 10 and make your life a living hell. Always remember that. Right, dude?
Yeah. Another way to put it, like, ask yourself, like, would I rather be with someone who is a 10 to me, but other people think is a 6, or somebody who is a 6 to me, but other people think are a 10?
Ooh, I like it. That's good.
Like, what's more important to you? If it's really important to you
That's it.
that everybody else thinks
Bingo.
she's a 10, go ahead and live your life that way.
Mm-hmm. Well said, David. Very well said. Michael says, not serious. Wait, first we got to go to Anonymous, who super chatted me. Anonymous Citizen super chatted me $1. Let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. Woohoo! Pathetic noise I just made, but I was trying to celebrate. I'm not really good at that noise, like woo, but it's wonderful, wonderful. But Anonymous, do you have any other questions? Because we will answer it. Just say the word, anything you want, we will answer it. No questions asked. AMA, Anonymous Citizen, thank you so much for your super chat. Much appreciated.
To go back a step.
What? He said no question.
Like, when I was a junior in high school, like, there were some attractive sophomores who were like showing an interest in me, and I'm like, I can't do that. Like, like, she's younger than me. Like, what's the challenge there? Dumb. Okay. Stupid.
Dude, what about also sex workers?
Mm-hmm.
If a guy is getting no sex and has missed out on a lot of opportunities, do you think you should make up for lost time by going to legal sex workers?
I think that is a viable choice. Yes.
So do I.
Okay. Like, again, like, is it you so tied up in your personal like identity? Like, oh, I'm not a guy who pays for it. It's really okay if you don't want to do that, but I'm just saying, like, look at your reasoning behind it. I think also strip clubs, like, you can learn a lot about how to be with, I don't want to say real women, but like women that you are not paying for their company, by spending some time with strippers.
And you can learn how to deal with hot women, as Todd Valentine, the pickup artist we were watching in some of the last lives, that he's like, he kept commenting on the paper, like, this is how hot girls act and everything. They're more abrasive, they're more assertive. You can get used to that kind of woman. So, I paid for a sex worker. And it was a great experience. So, you guys could be having sex today, tomorrow, but that's all I gotta say. Alex Zimmer
Bob
said,
Bill says, "Lol, you don't get experience from sex workers." Well, you certainly do.
and you
If you're
can,
like a virgin or like you've been with like one woman in your life.
and you can also ask them for some tips.
Like if you've had sex with 100 times with half a dozen women, yeah, you're probably not going to get much experience from a sex worker. I agree.
And you can also create an experience where you ask them to teach you stuff.
Yeah, I have heard that too, though.
What?
I have heard that like you can ask a sex worker like teach you tips or whatever.
They fucking know. If anyone knows, they know, and they'll tell you. Philip Davenport, he super chatted us. Thank you so much, Philip Davenport. He says, I find myself always being the guy who women cheat with. I eventually find out they have a boyfriend or husband. My reality view is everyone cheats eventually. What do you think, dude? And thank you so much for your super chat, Philip.
I don't know. I hope that's not true.
Well, you have like a skewed reality because so many people have cheated with you, so you're probably biased there. But you know what? It seems like you probably have good skills. I mean, if women want to cheat with you, I don't know if you're just connecting with them emotionally or what your specialty is there, Philip, but what do you think it is? My guess is that you probably give them something that their alpha husbands are lacking in, which is like emotional support, connection, or perhaps you're a really good looking guy with emotional skills as well. What do you think it is, Philip? But I don't agree with you. Everybody cheats eventually. It's just not true. You don't have to cheat if you don't want to. You could break up and then cheat. You could open the relationship and then have polyamory. There's many ways people could experience the desire to have sex with other people without lying about it and betraying their spouse. So not everyone takes that route. Mostly just people who are, not good with confrontation. They got themselves into a bad situation where they can't be honest. There's many different ways where you could just be like two naturally very monogamous people. You could be very open with each other. You could explore sexually together. Like there's many ways other than straight up cheating. I think it's just people weren't very well, there's probably a lot of different reasons, but you don't have to lie about it. What do you think, Philip? And
Yeah.
everybody else?
And to all the people out there who complain, "Oh, Victoria, stop paying attention to such and such and get back to our questions." Quit being okay. Just like throw $1 or $2, $5 or whatever at Victoria, and she'll answer your questions to an extreme degree, like she just did right now. Don't like sit there and like whine, "Oh, I paid 0 cents for this live. Answer my question, Victoria." It's pitiful.
Okay, well, thanks for the support, David, but
Well, it's not even like supporting you, really. It's just like, how do you go about your life? Like, are you walking around demanding things from people in exchange for nothing?
oop.
I want to go to this question.
Okay, but we got the super chat.
Wait, we can get to that super chat. One
But-
sec.
Okay.
How do you show a woman you were good in bed before sleeping with her without looking like you're bragging?
Well, that's easy. Just wear a pair of really tight pants and then kind of angle your dick in her direction. Just kidding. Do not take that seriously. That was humor. That was a rare bout of sarcasm on my side. Usually I fail miserably at sarcasm. That was pretty good.
So, what's the answer?
Dude, what's the answer? You're the one.
I've often wondered this myself, so I'm wondering what your answer is.
Okay, so how do you show a woman you are good in bed before sleeping with her without looking like you're bragging?
To put it this way, Victoria,
Okay.
what clues would make you think a guy is good in bed? You look at a guy, oh, he's probably good in bed. Why?
If he kisses well. Maybe if he dances well. Maybe if he basically seems like good at the basics on the see, the thing is you learn very quickly none of these things have any relevance to being good in bed. That's the thing. So maybe in the beginning with like an inexperienced woman who has a body count of less than like 5, she might be thinking some of these things, but once your body count gets into the hundreds like mine, you know that being a good dancer does not mean you're good in bed. Having a big dick does not mean you're good in bed. Being good on the date and being a great conversationalist does not mean you're good in bed. Yeah, so. But I think that if honestly, the thing I think would make him seem good in bed is if a guy talked about kind of being like sex positive. Because that means that he's not going to try to shame you, so you're going to be able to enjoy the experience. And he's probably going to have like studied some sexual stuff. And he's probably going to know where the clit is. And he's probably going to realize that women need foreplay to come. So, I don't know. Maybe if you could slip in there something about how like you love sex and you're super sex positive and like you enjoy, I mean, you have to do this well because you don't want to like creep someone out with this. But if I'm thinking of a time in a date where things have heated up, you're drunk, you're having a great conversation, the topic naturally flows on to sex, and you kind of mention, yeah, like I read books about sex all the time. It's one of my interests. I don't know. I'm just interested in the topic. I'm interested in sex positivity and stuff. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, I'll make a mental note of that. It's a great sign. But yeah, what do you think, Dad?
Okay. Number one, kind of like a quiet, steady confidence. Just seem kind of like unshakable. Seem like you have everything under control. Like you know that this date is going to go in the direction that you want it to, you know, or at least like kind of project that feeling. Number two, be very like body positive about her body, especially, you know, like
that is a good one, David. I should have said that one.
If you say anything like, oh yeah, this fat chick, done. You have very little chance of seeing that girl naked.
If you say anything about the rating scale,
yeah,
done.
yeah. Because like everyone is self-conscious about their bodies, but I would say that women are maybe 10 times more self-conscious about their bodies than men are. So think about how self-conscious you are about your body and having some stranger see you naked, and then multiply that by 10, and maybe that like gets you in the ballpark of how a woman feels. So you have to make her feel like you really are attracted to her, right? I don't know if this is 2B or a third point, we'll call it 2B. As the night progresses, you turn like compliments about her body or, you know, body positivity into like sexual interest, right? Like I would love to get you back to my place, you know. And you get her back to your place, and you're like making out, like, oh, I want to fuck you so bad, or whatever, you know, like you're advancing these things forward, like you want to make it safe for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was another important thing that I wanted to say.
Yeah, I think those compliments are huge because that will just make her feel safe. Like, I can relax with this guy. He's not going to be like,
Haha.
uh-oh, what
Haha.
is it?
Okay, here's another one. This is a video for Beardo Speaks that
Okay.
I would love to make.
Okay.
Dominance at the beginning of the date is not what you think it is, okay? It's not grabbing her and throwing her up against the wall, usually, okay? Like occasionally some situations will happen, right? But generally, dominance on a date is taking care of everything, doing the driving, making the plan, paying for things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want this? Do you need this? Can I get you a drink?
Mm-hmm.
You find out what she wants to order, and you order for her when the waiter comes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think I said you plan it. Like you go to the places where you feel comfortable and you're in control, and you open the doors for her. You pull out her chair. You know, like this is dominance. Like you are the man. You are in charge. You are in control. You are the strong one. You are the confident one. You are the one who knows what's going on. You are the one who, you know, can handle anything. You're the one who's the leader. Okay. That's dominance,
Sure,
like early on the date. Okay. And if you take care of all that stuff early in the date, she's going to believe that you're the kind of person who can take care of her in the bed.
You're right.
In the bedroom. In the bed sounds not so good. So that would be like my top 3.
Great answer, dude. See, even that last one made me just be like, all right, dude, let's just you and me go. No. All right. We got to get to Cool Super Chat. Cool. Thank you so much for your Super Chat, and thank you for waiting patiently if you are still here, but we really appreciate your Super Chat. And he says, question for Beardo. How to build confidence as a 23-year-old male? I could be considered successful, but I still have low self-esteem. How did you find your identity? Great question. Cool.
So successful like in business, like in your career, I wonder, or successful with women?
Well, it could be either, yeah. Cool. If you're still here, let us know.
He's got to be still here. Like you don't throw down $5 Canadian and just walk away from him.
Well, let's hope not. We made him wait a long time, so.
Oh yeah, but that was like gold.
Yeah, so. Cool. Are you still here? If so, reveal yourself.
Yeah. So let's see the question.
Okay. It's a question
Looks
for
like
you.
Lady Luck liked the answer on that.
Okay.
How to build confidence as a 23-year-old man. I could be considered successful, but still have low self-esteem. How do you find your identity? Okay. I mean, this is a pretty tough question. I'd say it's certainly practice, right? Like the more you are in these situations, the more you're going to know what to do. So I don't know if you're having a whole bunch of like bad experiences, lack of experiences or whatever. Like, but if you're out there and you're, you can tell us more about like your experience. Like if we had the question earlier, and I mean this guy no ill will. Like I want him to be happy. It was Kawhi Leonard or whatever. He's like, how come I'm 26 and I've only had one experience? Well, you're probably like passing up the opportunities that you do have, right? Okay. All right, it's the Beardo show now.
Yeah, it's just him now. I'll be right back then.
My non leather life channel. Yeah, terrible joke. Anyway, super chat guy. Cool. Screen name Cool. I mean, how do you build confidence? Like there's billions of dollars industries, around those kind of questions. It's not easy. Put yourself in situations where you feel comfortable and you'll seem more confident. Put yourself in situations where you are uncomfortable and you'll learn to be more comfortable in those situations and deal with your uncomfortability. Low self-esteem. I mean, like, low self-esteem is not an easy problem to fix, I mean, I hope that's not discouraging to you, but if I had a miracle cure for low self-esteem, I'd be a billionaire. Like, it's just like accepting yourself is a big part of it. Like, whoever you are, like, you have to learn to accept yourself. Like, nobody's perfect. And when you understand that you are good enough as you are, I mean, that's, to me, is like self-esteem. But it's really like drowning out here, Tora.
What? Why?
It's a tough question.
It seemed like a tough question, yeah. But if anyone could have answered that question, it's Beardo, because he has good self-esteem, very good. He doesn't have, like, self-esteem issues. Like some people over here. Me, my self-esteem is like that. Just kidding. I don't know if it is or isn't.
I wish there was an Uber for cunnilingus where girls could rate me and those would see how many 5-star ratings I have. I tell you about this idea all the time.
That'd be good. Wow.
Who wrote that?
Maybe you guys could collaborate on a business idea.
Michael. I don't suppose you're a multimillionaire, Michael, because like I think that we could maybe make this work. But I don't have the millions to.
Michael, if you are a millionaire or want to collaborate on a company with Beardo for
It's
this,
gonna take multi-millions. I mean, like maybe if
email
you had
me,
a million and you was willing to put like
mynonleatherlife@gmail.com.
all million into it, maybe we could do something. But
you'll probably have to pay at least $1 million in legal fees fighting the government for that company. But unfortunately, it's a great idea, though.
I really think there's something that could be done.
We got a
Is that
super
a new
chat.
super chat? A whole bunch of questions
Philip
getting skipped over.
Davenport. Thank you so much, Philip Davenport. He says, confidence is knowing that whatever comes your way, you can handle it. Trust yourself because you have done amazing things in your life. Believe in you. I like that definition of confidence. You're right. Knowing that whatever comes your way, you can handle it. For sure. Unfortunately, I don't feel whatever comes my way, I can handle it. But it would be great if I did. Trust yourself because you have done amazing things in your life. I try, Philip. It's good advice. Very good advice. It's accurate as fuck. Thank you so much for your super chat.
Thank you,
words,
Philip.
Words of wisdom.
Lady Luck says, at Bill Usher, women can instinctively tell if he's going to be fun. That may be true, but it's not especially helpful.
In bed, though?
It's not
I don't agree.
particularly instructive. I'm not trying to put you down, Lady Luck. I'm just saying, like, just from his energy and how he carries himself.
Maybe it's fun on a date, but in bed? Has that been accurate for you, Lady Luck? Because, well, it depends what you consider good in bed as well.
Some 304s do 50 a day.
Do you know what 304s are?
Is that like the rating system?
No. Hose. if you look at this, like if you type that on a phone
Turn it upside
and turn it
down.
upside down, that'd be hose.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
shouldn't
like
the S be on the other side?
I've noticed that a lot of sex workers, they're now calling themselves 304s. They've like reclaimed it already. That was fast, right? I don't know.
This gentleman, I hesitate to use that word, says a body count of more than 5 is shameful. I highly disagree. My body count is higher than 5. Is it shameful?
Ooh,
think so.
double standard much? My body count is add 2 zeros to that.
Tom Brady, what if the woman isn't good in bed?
What do you say to that, David?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever been with a woman who isn't good in bed.
She just lays there like a starfish. What do you do?
Just thank my lucky stars.
Thank you.
Thank my lucky starfish. Lady Luck says, could always tell. The difference is he's very masculine and authentic confidence, not arrogance.
Anonymous citizens, our sex positive king in the chat.
Yeah. Thank you, anonymous citizen. What's your thought on girls pulling away? What does that mean? Like they stop texting you or something?
Mm-hmm. Probably means they're mad about something, or they're trying to play hard to get you to pull towards them.
Free show dance monkeys.
Isaiah has a good question. I don't know if you're still here, Isaiah, but I asked a woman out on an ice cream date. She says she's down to meet up at a mall. What are conversations that leads to getting to know you more? Let's hand this one to Beardo.
I don't remember, man. This is like going back a ways. Well, really important is to ask her questions. Okay. She is the star of the date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You don't have to be like Jerry Seinfeld, like in the spotlight, doing stand up, right? This is a common misconception that I had. It's like, oh, I have to be entertaining. I have to show myself that I have all this personality and I'm worthy. Looks like the live's coming to an end because you're tired.
Yeah. But...
Bedtime.
Okay. Keep going, Dad.
So make her feel like she's interesting to you instead of trying to act like you're the interesting one. That's probably my best advice about that.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
Well, you could always like get on topics about her favorite books, her favorite movies, her hobbies, her family, like what's going on there, friend drama. These are all questions women like to talk about. Where she wants to travel to, what she envisions for her future. Gotta ask that one in the right way, but these are topics that women really like. Wait, we got a super chat, dude.
Yep.
And I know that symbol. It's Nani 2. In other words, just Nani. He says, Dave and Vic, both of you guys are a 10. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Nani. From one 10 to another 10.
We're 5 each.
From 2 10s to another 10. 5. Oh, God.
You're a 7, I'm a 3.
Oh. Nani, thank you so much. Nani always supports.
Armand, instead of like posting the same thing like 10 times, how about you like put $2 behind it? Beard, I believe you seriously don't understand what people who are less successful with women feel. This is not true because I did not know what I was doing with women like in my 20s.
Like people are just calling you Beard.
Yeah, Beard. It's good.
David McFarland says, I'm a solid 5 average dude. Wish I was Hottie, Chatter, Tyrone style. David, you can improve. Okay? Anyone can improve. Inch up that scale. All right? Tackle it one thing at a time. You know what I mean? You're not stuck at a 5. If you want to, if you have the motivation, if you have the willpower, you can inch up that scale. No shame in starting as a 5, completely natural. All natural, baby. So.
Yeah. Beardo, do you work out? No.
Ocean Moon Bell, yes, I'm so sorry. I'm behind on emails. I got your email and I cannot wait to delve in. I have a lot of emails to get through, but I so appreciate you sending me that. And my sincere apologies for not getting back to you sooner on that, Ocean Bell, because I was very appreciative that you wrote that to me. This has just been how would I put it? One of the craziest weeks of my life, I would say. So, craziest months, really, but you will be getting response from me, Ocean Moon Bell. Thank you for that. Oh, David. Do you find any questions you want to answer?
No.
David, how about demonstrate the dirty talk worksheet I made up?
Beardo, what age were you when things started clicking? Well, like they didn't click until I was in like that 10+ year relationship. And then, like there was still a lot I learned after that, and I've learned a lot from Victoria. But
He learned from me.
Yeah. If a woman travels often, is she promiscuous?
Most likely.
But she doesn't have to go anywhere to be promiscuous.
Yeah, but it's a lot more funner to go on sexcations when you travel. But being promiscuous isn't a bad thing. Pulse reloaded. My head just exploded. Space Trump, what do you want me to teach you? You have flattered me. My narcissism is ignited.
Well, I mean, I think that like going to the gym, working out, and doing everything you can to look smacks is definitely a good thing. But all the same, like there's lots of women who aren't looking for that too. So you don't